Alright, so I think we are live now. My preview. Can everyone hear me okay? I'm trying out new audio equipment, so that's primarily the reasoning behind this. It's showing an error. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Anyone hear me okay? Looking decent? It's primarily an audio test. Hey guys, like I said, how can you hear me? Do I look decent? In my pre-recordings, when I was trying it, it sounded fine, sounded okay. So the next step was to test live. So just kind of hopping on here for I don't know how long, but wanted to kind of see how it sounds. I guess I should look at my phone. It sounds great. Perfect, because I spent a lot of money on microphones. All right. Is there any latency on my like voice to like camera thing? Is my thing caught up? No, okay. Why is my software not wanting to work? Okay, so I'm just going to stay on the YouTube browser then. So what's up, everyone? How's your Saturday going? What fish stuff have you guys been up to lately? Like I said, still getting kind of used to this live stream thing. And my computer's still being weird, but... my software's still not working. Hey, what's up, everyone? Crowntail Half Moon, Dansley, Edgar, Brian, Kent's Fish Room. Thanks for coming to the live stream. Awesome. So I'm glad that this is sounding good. I am curious on how it sounds on my phone. Because while I don't think this is going to be a weekly thing, I wouldn't mind doing it like every couple up. I'm going to listen to it. Oh, it does sound good. Okay, cool. Like I said, I got my audio adapter piece that allows me to connect my fancy microphone yesterday. There's also some construction going on literally like right outside my window, right outside here. So you might hear some hammering and things like that. But yeah, so what's up, Guppy Guru? Hey, Alien World Aquatics. Planning out two new planted vases. That's awesome. That sounds. I want to do some more like small decorative stuff, especially once my rice fish get breeding. I want to do a little more of those little tiny things like that. But yeah, basically the little like box that I had that lets me plug in my actual video microphone finally got here yesterday, and so I was able to plug in. You know, this is like $1,000 microphone that I'm using. Plugged into a $30 piece that actually lets it connect to the USB port. So I'm glad that that's working out, and webcam should be working out. Okay, everything's good. Hey Jeff, how are you doing? But yeah, so like I said, someone give me something to talk about, or else I'm gonna just disappear again. I had fun chatting on the last live stream. Let's see. Have I used potho plants before? I have. I had them in this tank for a while. They kept dying out. And now I have a light that I could throw on there. But I don't keep that on usually unless I'm working over in this area because it views the aquariums better. And then the light also doesn't hit the hang-on back filters back there. And I was having trouble with the roots getting in the AquaClear impellers. So I just kind of didn't use pothos in that. I had pothos in one of my 10 gallons that I had a sponge filter on. And the roots always went crazy, but it never grew any leaves or anything. Nothing like that. So I'm getting an error message. Let me know if anything crazy goes on, because I'm getting a big yellow error message about some keyframe or something. Let's see. Yes, they're a good excuse to concentrate on aquatic and marginal plants. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big plant person. Normally I kill everything I try to grow. Luckily this tank does pretty decent. Let's see. Potho plants I used. I think it was like a golden pothos something. I got it at Home Depot. It was like it's in a hanging vase. It was like $10 for a big thing of it, and I used like a third of it. So it's just one of those. I want to play with it some more. I haven't. But yeah, so that's on my to-do list, and there's some sawing going on. So like I said, we're getting our fence redone, so if there's any construction noise, I apologize. They're 6 feet away, hammering and sawing. Let's see, how's my brine shrimp doing? It's doing good. I've gotten to the point where I'm resetting it every day now, and feeding out of it once a day to 4 of my tanks. I still like it. I still think it's worth the money. And that's including, I know some people have been concerned about their brine shrimp in cold weather. I leave my window open at night, and my room drops to like 40 degrees. And the brine shrimp are still hatching out okay. I'm still getting good yields out of them. I need to do some tests occasionally or soon about the hatch rate, like a couple people have suggested, but I haven't had a chance to do that. I've just been busy trying to A, get the live stream working, and B, the video I published on Friday about the grindle worms is the last video that I had filmed, so I need to film something sometime this week, and all of the kids are off of school for Thanksgiving, so the house is going to be noisy, which means it's going to be even harder to film, and I'm going to have to film at like 11. And I just recently started getting back into running. I've got a 5K that my Rotary Club puts on in the springtime, and I want to run it and get a decent time. So I've started training for that, which is adding hours to my stuff. Let's see. Pothos rock, you can even cut the runners and put into water. Yeah, exactly. I just put them straight into the water. I clean all the dirt off of them. Just let the roots hang out in the water. And but like I said, my biggest issue with the pothos plants I had was the roots were growing like crazy, and I kept having to trim the roots back, but I wasn't getting any new leaves or growths, and after a couple of months, I just kind of pulled it out. It was getting more annoying than anything else. Let's see. 5x5. I don't know what that means, Lazy Fish Keeper. Remember to store baby brine shrimp eggs in the freezer. I actually have them in the fridge because that's what it said to do, but I may have to move them over to the freezer. Brine Shrimp Direct told me to put them in the fridge, so that's kind of where I stuck them. I don't have too many of them. I bought like a little vial of them. I didn't buy too many. Big J's Fish Keeper. What part of the Bay are you from? I'm very, very, very East Bay. Some people that are truly from the Bay don't consider me as part of the Bay, but my county touches it, so we're Bay Area. I'm Contra Costa County, so. But yep, California in the house for sure. Like I said, I feel boring. Give me some more stuff to talk about. Oh, in and out order. Yeah, that's a good point, Jeff. Some 5 patties, 5 pieces of cheese. Originally from Rodeo. Okay. Yeah. I grew up in Brentwood, so I live in Antioch, so I know exactly where Brentwood is. It's right next to me. So I own a couple of businesses in Antioch, and Antioch's my hometown, so. Yep, Utah in the house too. Am I going to see Jimmy in Folsom? Yes, I will be there. Wiley wants me to do a video with Jimmy. I need to send Jimmy a message and be like, hey, is that cool with you? Give him kind of a heads up. But haven't gotten a chance to actually do that. So I need to... Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I need to message Jimmy still. He's been in Hawaii, so I didn't want to bother him on vacation, but I need to shoot him a message and say, hey, our club wants to do a little interview with you that'll be on my channel, but with the Sacramento Aquarium Society logos and stuff on it. And so, yeah, that should be fun. Hopefully we can get that in. I don't know exactly how that's going to go, but yeah. So, let's see. Utah in the house, Jimmy going to Folsom, Bakersfield, club activities, raised in Sunnyvale. I had an error message. Yeah, like I said, for some reason it's telling me the keyframes are off or something, and I don't know what that means. Let's Let's see. How are my guppies doing? My guppies are doing good. I'm finally to the point where I'm able to sex the first generation that I had of them. I've got a couple of males and a bunch of females, which is good. I was hoping to get more males. I'm starting to get to the point where there's like 7 or 8 generations in there. And yeah, I'm looking at them right now, and they look good. They're just growing out, and I'm trying to get them to the point. They're about to the point where I could take them to an auction for a breeder thing. The small ones, I don't think they're up to reproduction, but they're almost, like I said, they're old enough to be sexed. You can definitely tell which ones are the males and the females. Let's see. Yeah, Dad lives there. Just delivered to Brentwood on Friday. Yeah, I was just in Brentwood this morning, so I was doing some home repair for some seniors with my Rotary Club. Oakley Antioch border. Yeah, Oakley and Antioch does border down in the north part. But yeah, I'm in southeast Antioch, and my business is right next to Highway 4 on the BART exit there. So, how was the coral thing on the last meeting? I thought it was good. I have zero idea what saltwater stuff is, but it was interesting. They talked about like coral compatibility and stuff like that. So it sounded cool. I didn't really know what I was talking about, but I got some good stuff at the auction. So I got a cobalt heater that I'm working on a review for that I got for like $20. It's like a $70 heater brand new. So definitely looking forward to that. Got some good stuff. Who's had Burgerville? I've never had Burgerville. Haven't even heard of it. Let's see. Yeah, it'd be awesome with Jimmy. Yeah, I agree. Basically talking to the board of the club and the president, they have a couple of questions they want me to kind of ask as a standard with monthly speakers, ones that are okay with being on camera. So in theory, it should be coming out every month of whatever speaker is coming to Sacramento, as long as I'm there, and I should be there. That's kind of the agreement that we're working out. I'm hoping it works out. I don't know how long the video is going to be. I don't know what the format's going to be. But I do know it'll be on a tripod. I'll be mic'd up, and the speaker will be mic'd up, and I'll do kind of a little interview style somewhere in a corner or in the parking lot or something, just to kind of get it a little bit away from everyone. But it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, especially Jimmy's a good start, because Jimmy's going to, I can be like, hey, put this on, and he's going to know how to do it. And yeah, so let's see. Good to see me live. Yeah, excited to be live streaming. Like I said, I'm not planning on making this a weekly thing. I got my stuff yesterday, and I've been busy all the way up until this minute, and I just wanted to play with it, make sure it was working. Do I keep any big fish? The biggest fish I have would be the angelfish and my rainbow shark. That's about as big as I've gone. Haven't really got anything bigger. I was debating about putting an Oscar in this tank, but I really wanted a nice like show tank, display tank type of deal, and so I went with small fish instead. And I like the angelfish, but the angelfish may disappear, and so might the platies. I'm not sure. Like it's talked about in the last stream, I really want to put some rummy nose in this tank. I think rummy nose would just look great, and maybe some other tetras as well. Let's see. Fired up for your new tank. Might need some shrimp. What type of tank are you setting up? What are you going to stock it with if you're going to put shrimp in there? I'm curious. Cichlids, 23. Southern California in the house, yep. So do you know how to do the DIY, the top center brace in a 55-gallon? I do not know how to do that. I haven't even resealed a tank. I've debated about going and buying a 10-gallon and stripping the ceiling and resealing it myself just so I could practice a little bit with a small tank. But I don't have that many tanks, so for me, like if this 75 broke today, I would just go buy a new one at Petco, full retail price. Not even worried about it just because it's my tank. And so if I was setting up a fish room, that would be different. But yeah, for me, it's just one of those, you know what, I'm just going to go buy a new one. I've had a 10-gallon leak on me once, and I just went and bought a new one, and didn't worry about it. So, let's see. What lights do I have on the tank behind me? This is a Beamswork DA F-Spec, I believe. I did a review video on it a little while back. I really like it. I bought another one for my office tank, and there's one on my office tank. And they're a little on the pricey side for cheap lights. Like it's a cheap light, but it's a cheap light, but it's a better cheap light in my opinion. It grows plants really well. So like the 4-foot one I want to say is like $80-$90, but the 36-inch one's like $50, and the 10-gallon size is like $40 or $50. So a little bit expensive on the smaller tanks, but it's just one of those like not quite sure. So But I do like the beams work a lot. The DA versus the EA. I actually have an EA right here. This is going to go to my next club meeting because I thought it was a DA and I bought it on Facebook Marketplace. But by the time I showed up, I realized it was the older one, the older beams work. And so I don't really have a use for it. I was going to put it down across my 4 breeding ones. But that's just kind of, yeah, so it's just going to go to the auction. I don't need a second 48-inch light of that one. And being the colored lights going across the 10s, I was getting like a red tank and a blue tank. And so I might just get some sort of 48-inch. I've got an Aqua Neat light on the way that I'm going to play with, see how that does. And so that way I can put all 4 tanks on just one big 4-foot light. Let's see. Time for more plants. Yeah, I agree. There's always time for more plants. I love plants and aquariums. I think it just takes things way over the top. Let's see. Completely snap off. You got some CPDs coming from Dan's Fish. Nice. Celestial Poriodanios have been one of the fish that I've debated about. Haven't really got into them because I haven't seen them locally for a cheaper price. My local fish store charges like $15-20 a piece for them. And I don't like them that much. I like them, just not that much. So I haven't gotten them. I've been getting more into the breeding stuff, and that's been kind of my focus. Some oddball things. So yeah, like I said, Jeff, Larry definitely could. I could go with him. I almost bought some rummy nose when I went, and I didn't. I bought the platies and swordtails instead. But you know, it's one of those, and I could quarantine them. I could get like a HGX tote and throw them in that. I've got a spare heater and filter and stuff, but not quite sure yet. I might just start with a small group of, rummy nose tetras. Yep, that's right. And then kind of up it up as I go. Let's see. It's my quarantining method. So I quarantine all of the fish that come into my fish room, or my fish tanks, not really room. I put them in a 10-gallon tank. They stay there for 30 days. If they don't show any sign of sickness, if they show sign of sickness, I keep them there for 30 days after the sickness has disappeared. And I treat preemptively with general cure, erythromycin, and ICX. Unless they're from someone I know, then I won't pre-treat them. I'll just kind of observe them for a couple days, and if I need to, I'll go treat them. But if I'm getting things from like the pet store or PetSmart or something like that, I treat them just off the bat with general cure, erythromycin, and ICX. And like I said, they do that for 30 days. It's just a bare bottom 10-gallon tank. I run an Eheim Jagger heater in it. I think it's a 50 watt. And then I run a box filter because I just pull media out of my Aqua Clear 110s, throw them in the box filter, and it's good to go. So that's how I quarantine, just because that's easy for me. Solid, and that's what I have the space for. So let's see. Plants are why I keep aquariums and why I don't mess with cichlids anymore. Yeah, I have a couple of cichlids. I have the angelfish and I have the scarlet batis in a 10-gallon tank. But that's the only cichlids that I have. I like the look of cichlids. I just didn't want to deal with the fish killing each other and the water changes. And I like the planted look. I think the planted looks a lot better. So what do I do to keep these plants green and healthy? So all of these plants, I have them on 11 hours of light. So the beams work lights on for 11 hours. I do a weekly water change, and I dose Aquarium Co-op Easy Green once a week. So I dose 8 pumps of it because it's a 75-gallon aquarium. And then I also have Aquarium Co-op Easy Grow or Easy Green root tabs in the sand down here. So I do have root tabs every, I want to say it's like 6 inches, every 4 inches. I can't remember, kind of just roughly. But yeah, I have Aquarium Co-op stuff, and this stuff goes great. I still need to put sand in. I've had this for like a week and a half, the dwarf hairgrass. I just haven't bothered to go get more sand so I can actually bury it because I didn't run that thick of a sand layer in the front. But I really need to. And then put the green tabs, Easy Green tabs in it. So let's see, freeze pretty good. Hi folks, can't stay stopping in. Well, thank you Select Pet for stopping in. Hey Griffin, how you guys doing? Dan wants some Africans again. They're great fish, but in other people's tanks. Yeah, no, like I said, I like the look of African cichlids a lot. But the other thing is, I don't actually like touching fish. as weird as that sounds, I don't like grabbing them. So for me, the little fish are a little easier because I don't have to grab this giant big fish. I got a ton of shellies if I want to set up a tank. A 20 long looks pretty dope. I was debating about doing shellies. My office tank is neon tetras at the moment, but I've been debating about switching it to shellies and pulling the neon tetras back here. But then I've got to figure out where my beta fish is going to go. I don't really want to get rid of him, but I don't really have anywhere here for him to stay either. He could go in my shrimp white cloud minnow tank. It's a pretty heavily planted tank, but not quite sure. I mean, I could get rid of him, but that's Boca. I've had him for a while. So, oh, my nose is like all over the place. With that fluorite, I don't need as much easy green, right? Yeah, fluorite, I believe that's one of the planted tank substrates. Easy green, I wouldn't use the root tabs at that point. I would just use the liquid fertilizer. But the liquid fertilizer helps with the column feeding stuff, and then the root plants that do it from the actual soil would be used with the fluorite. To my understanding, I'm not that good of a plant person. I just use basic sand in this tank, so that's why I use the root tabs. But yeah, so that's why you have so many tanks. Yeah. See, now I'm getting that warning sign just went away, so now I'm getting a good connection. Oh, nope, it's back. So I have no idea what's going on, but as long as you guys say it's okay. Let's see. What lumens in the light for a planted tank? I'm not sure. Like I said, I bought Beams Work. On my 10 gallons, I have a Nick Crew there. I'm not a big fan of it. It grows hair algae like no tomorrow. I've got a Nick Crew down here. Again, grows hair algae like no tomorrow. I've got a Nick Crew in the hallway. Again, grows hair algae like no tomorrow. I've got an Aquaneat on the way for the tanks down here. I'm going to try that one, but it's a white and blue light. So not sure. But I like the Beams Work. When I was doing the shop light that's up here, actually used to be on the tank. And that, I want to say, is a 1600 lumen light. Might be a 32. But I believe it's a 1600 lumen light. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still a little dehydrated. I've been out working all morning, so. Let's see. I lost where I was. Just in the fish room picking out fry rainbows. Yep. And Florida similarly equal complete. Hey, what's up, Trent, by the way? Thanks for joining in. Helps hold nutrients. And yeah. So yeah, we had the discussion the other day about Nick Crew lights. I liked them a lot at the start of the hobby before I was doing plants because they were cheap. They looked good, and they were fine. And so I bought a bunch of them for all my 10 gallons, and I wish I'd bought something else. Like I said, I want to say they're like $20 for a 10 gallon. The Beams Work are so much better, but it's like $40, so it's twice the price. And I can't see replacing lights that I already have unless they break or I need to. So I've been kind of going through, and like I said, I spent the $10 on an Aquanaut light just because I wanted to play around with it. But yeah, and yeah, the stream's looking good. Hoping it's sounding good too. Like I said, I finally have all my equipment in place. Some of it's being held together with tape, so I need to get those little connector pieces worked out. But worst comes to worst, I can just tape it every time. I do video full time. I've got enough tape. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Just lost all your fish from today from ick and body type fungus killed in 3 days. Well, sorry to hear that, Enoch. But yeah, it's sometimes those sicknesses just pop up. I was just talking to Trent at Weldon Aquatics, and I had 10 panda cories in this tank, and for some reason this week I've had 3 of them die just out of nowhere. One of them I found was upside down right here in the front, and I thought he was dead, so I went to go net him out, and he started moving around, so I stuck him in a breeder box up in the corner, and he was there for about 3 days, was looking fine, didn't have any torn up fins or anything, and then I went to bed, and I woke up in the morning, and he was upside down floating. And so, I don't know, and then I saw the carcass of one that was pretty much already eaten back by one of the filters, and I don't know, because it's such a densely planted tank, I don't know if I've lost any other ones, but yeah, I don't know what's going on because there's nothing new in the tank. The tank was just medicated the last time something new went in. So this tank has been through general cure and ICX and erythromycin within the last like 3 months, even though I quarantined everything. But yeah, so like I said, sorry to hear about that. Sometimes there's just stuff that you just can't fix, I guess. Yeah, they do grow algae. Yeah, for the price, they're hard to beat. And like I said, at the time, I wasn't doing planting tanks, so it was just to look at, and they were great. A lot better than the little top fin built-in LED stuff. Love your aquanites. Yeah, I've heard good things about them. I believe LR Bretts is the one that uses them a lot in all his planted tanks. So I figured for $10 on eBay, why not? I needed a light anyways. And that way I can try another one, because I haven't tried aquanite before. So I've heard good things about them. I've heard people that either love them or people that hate them. And I don't know where I'll fall in that. I've never really found anyone in the middle. They love them or they hate them. So I'm excited to get it. It should be here, I think Monday or Tuesday, and then I should be able to play with it. So, but yeah, it should be good. Crowntail Half Moon, I must have missed your question. The chat's kind of going up and down, and like I said, my software is being glitchy, so I have a browser open up and I'm on a YouTube watching thing so I can see the chat, because for some reason my software won't. I wonder if it'll pull up the chat now. Nope, still not pulling up the chat. It says there's an error. And so, yeah. Let's see. I actually cried a little bit over your Blackmore. I was a year old. Yeah, no, I definitely understand that. Fish, if I lost my rainbow shark, I'd be very, very upset. I love my rainbow shark. Like I said, the last live stream that's my favorite fish at the moment. So I definitely understand that. Let's see. For planet light, I looked at the spectrum of light. Don't get caught up in lumens. Yeah, lumens is more the brightness. So on like shop light, you're going to see lumens because people care about how bright it is. But for plants, it's a little bit different. It's definitely the spectrum. I don't know all of it, but it's just kind of how it is. 2 years did the same thing. Yeah, like I said, I haven't had any issues in this tank forever, and then all of a sudden I've had a bunch of fish die off the last like week or two. I've had a couple of platies and stuff die off in the last week or two too. So I don't know what's going on. If it's I was joking with Trent Weldon saying seasonal depression. I'm not quite sure, but so. Yeah, Super Ick Cure. I use ICX just because that's what everyone recommends. I think it's just Melathane Blue is what it is. I've never used the API Ick stuff, but I've only had Ick once back, and it wiped out my entire tank, and I haven't had to deal with it since. I just pre-cure. Actually, no, I've had Ick one more time, but it was in quarantine, and it was just a little bit, and it disappeared real quick. So that's haven't had to deal with it too much, but. Aquanite, I saw the full spectrum light, and it's almost the same price as the beams work, and so I didn't order it because if I'm going to order it, I'm just going to order the beams work. Let's see, the Phoenix Stingray is another cheaper light that grows plants really well. I haven't tried the Phoenix Stingray either. I've heard good things about them. Someone told me they're roughly the same as a beams work, so I like my beams work. They work for me, so that's kind of what I'm sold on. I found something that works, and why change it, right? But I do like experimenting, so I have been playing around with a little bit of, yeah. So, let's see. ICX works great for me when I see it, usually gone in a couple days. I think we got the answer question there for them, Michael. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind on the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Trying to grow cheap green water. Yeah, sunlight outside. Hey, Chewy, what's up? Sunlight not available this time of year. I'd probably hit like a Home Depot or whatever and get a cheap little plant light, something like that, and just kind of leave it on pretty much 24/7. Not quite 24/7, but a lot. Yeah, LED lights was Weldon saying. W Group plant light. Yeah, that's that. Like I said, that's what I would go hit Home Depot and get some sort of. You can get like the indoor plant growing lights for like $20-30. Granted, it's $20-30. I understand for green water, but it's something. So there's certain things where I don't mind spending a little bit of money because it's going to be there for the rest of the time and it's worth it. But it's not as cheap as free, but it's something. Let's see. I lost where I was again. Oh, there we go. Something you can do is get a plant right. I saw that. Thanks for the advice and stuff. Cover Hero has a good point. Cheap lights on Amazon. Yeah, I love Amazon. You're loving your new Extreme Nano Feed Fry and nice size fish. Yeah, I haven't tried the new Extreme stuff yet, just because, quite frankly, I have like 6 times more food than I actually need. And so I'm trying to not get into more and more foods because I'm already going to have to throw half of this stuff out because it's going to go bad. So I haven't tried any new foods. I'm still rocking Omega-1s and Bug Bites, and then some brine shrimp and some live stuff. So that's pretty much it. But Beams Works way better. The Aquanita is smaller, more like the Stingray. Yeah, like I said, I like my Beams Works. I know they're more expensive, but on like my 75 gallon, not a big deal. The breeding tanks that I've got, it's just Java Moss, so that doesn't need to be a super nice light. Like I said, I bought this one because the EA one, because I saw it on Facebook. It was like $5-10, and I was like, you know what? For $5-10, I'll go buy it. But he just said it was a Beamswork light, and then had a close up of the underside LEDs. And so when I got there, I forgot that they made an EA version, and so I thought it was the DA, which is the new one that I've got up here. I thought about switching the lights, but I'm just gonna take it up to the club auction and sell it, get my money back, and be good with that. So Aquanita's a little smaller, like the Stingray. Yeah, I'm hoping that it does good for the breeding tanks for $10. You know, you can't beat it. Let's see, how are my white clouds doing? My white clouds are doing good. I have white clouds in the tank that's right up here in my shrimp tank. They're doing great. The white clouds in the pond, I actually just looked at them this morning before I left, and they're still swimming around out there. We're getting lows into the high 30s and low 40s, and then our highs for the day have been like 60s. So they're still kind of warmish but coldish, and they're doing okay still. I actually need to go top off the pond. It's a 55-gallon pond, and there's probably 20 gallons of water in it. I really need to go top it off, but yeah. Let's see. Nothing against Aquanites, but next time I need lights, I'm going back to fluorescence. Yeah, I was debating about doing that, but I wanted an actual tank light. Like I said, I've got a Nick Crew on these 2 tanks, and then in this tank, I actually have one of those little $5 like submergible lights, but I'm not super happy with it. For $5, it's not bad, and for a breeding grow out tank, not bad. But I wanted something that can go across the top. So, see, the Extreme line has been great for you with foods. Yeah, like I said, I've heard good things about the Extreme line, but again, I've got a whole bin of food and only a few tanks, and trying not to go crazy on food. I'd rather play around with equipment and other stuff, or use the money to spend on like fish room tours and that. Let's see. How often do I trim my Podocenium? I trimmed it about a third of the way down. Like, what is it? It's November, right at the start of November. So it's been about 23 days, and I normally don't cut it that short. I normally trim it every 2 weeks or so, and I like to try and keep it up towards the top because it looks better on camera. So yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, it's been about 3 weeks, and it's already back at the top. I literally, it was clear all the way for about a third. And so, yeah, that's about how often I trim it. But like I said, I do like to keep mine towards the top. Some people I know chop it like halfway down. I try to keep mine level at the top, so I'll trim it every week or two. But I don't trim much out of it. I just kind of trim whatever's growing excess. So, digital water temperatures for pH, TDS, and temp. I have just a cheap Amazon TDS one, little meter off of Amazon. I haven't tried a pH one because I don't really care about pH that much, to be honest. It's about 7.4 in pretty much all of my tanks, and that's what it is. But as far as the TDS pen, I just bought whatever the cheapest one was. It works great. I was a lot more concerned when I was getting into shrimp for it, because the guy that I was buying the shrimp from made a big deal about how it had to be XYZ, but my shrimp are doing fine. And I want to say it's 160 TDS water, 170. It varies by the season too, so let's see. Do I constantly need to recalibrate? I haven't recalibrated my TDS pen, but I've also only used it maybe 3 times in the year and a half that I've had it. So it's not something I use very often. I was actually just thinking about it the other day because I found it and I couldn't find it before, but I still didn't use it because I haven't really had a point. Yeah, along with your own blend of food, yeah, that's good too. Yeah, cheap pen off of Amazon's for temperature uses a digital barbecue thermometer. Yeah, digital barbecue thermometer, something waterproof. or I really like these laser temperature guns. I've got one here, and I even have one at my office. I just pointed at the tank, and this tank's 80.2 right now. The guppy tank is sitting 79.8. The shrimp tank is sitting at 78.8. And Mike, if you're watching, I'm live streaming. This is my business partner calling, so I have to give him a bad time. But yeah, I don't know what he's calling me about. But let's see. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, thermometer. That's what I use. I use a temp gun, just because that's what I use. So it's the difference in the EA and DA. I don't know too much. I know the EA. These are the type of mounts on the EA, and the DA has like a clear plastic one that I prefer. And the clear plastic on the EA slides all the way along. So you could put a full 48-inch light on a 10-gallon and just have a ton excess overflow. So you could put like one right here and one right here, which is what I was hoping, because on my breeding rack, it's actually a little shorter than 48 inches. And so this is actually way too long. It doesn't sit across all the tanks. And so that's why I didn't want it, because of the foot brake thingies. But like I said, that's just kind of, I don't know what the other differences are, other than the DA is newer, and not that much more expensive than the EA, so I just kind of, I buy the new stuff. I try to, at least. Let's see. Also love the digital infrared thermometer, yep. They're like goldfish, as long as the pond is deep enough, does not freeze. Yeah, like I said, my ambient temps at the lowest, we get below 32 maybe 1 or 2 days a year. It's very, very rare for us to drop down below 32, and when we do, it's for a couple hours. It's not a long time, and there's a waterfall in the pond, so it's not going to freeze over. I'm not worried about that. Like I said, it's an above ground pond. Every time I check the water temperature on it, I want to say it's been like 50-ish, but I'm not quite sure. But I need to actually go look at that. I've just been busy. I need to go double check what the temperature's been and all that. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with Weldon. Don't get caught up chasing numbers. Consistency is what I go for. I don't even break out my test kit very often anymore. Just very rarely if there's something wrong. So like I need to test the water here because I've had the fish die off. But normally these come back 000. I went to my office one time and took it because I was curious, and I hadn't changed the water there in like 3 weeks, and the nitrates were through the roof. So I did a couple of big ones, and then it's back down to like 5 parts per million nitrate, so haven't worried about it since. But yeah, I barely take out my test kits anymore. If I set up a new tank or something, I'll test the water every couple of days, but other than that, it's pretty much sitting there. Let's see. Like I said, my nose, I was outside in the wind all day today. Let's see. My Blackmore secretly had babies I never saw. I saved the 15 fry the day she died. Like a miracle, she went and they disappeared. Inside a quarantine tank. That's awesome. Surprise fry is always great. Let's see. If you've not seen Guppy Gurus on DIY Food, yep, I would definitely go check it out. It's a good little video. But hey, Dan, how are you doing? Like I said, I'm trying to catch up on the chat. I'm getting there. Dan's our awesome guy that does all our auction, computer, fancy paperwork stuff. So he's definitely a hardworking SAS member. Let's see. Trying to breed neon and glow tetras. Want to standard breeding parameters. When we had a speaker at our Sacramento club a couple months ago talking about breeding neons and things like that and those type of tetras, and he runs, if I remember right, he tanned into the water and was running it like super like 6 point something, super low, super brown, murky water. I wish I paid more attention. I actually wish I videotaped that, because now that I'm getting into breeding, I wish I could watch that presentation again. Yeah, there's a little bit of information online, but not too much, because tetras are hard to breed from what I understand. Let's see. Scatter eggs. Yeah, the neon scatter eggs. Glow tetras, I believe they do too. I know the guy that came and spoke, he actually uses PVC, like 1-inch PVC legs. And then he used egg crate, like the white egg crate stuff. I thought I had some here, but I don't. Egg crate on top, and then actually screen mesh on top. And would put just a little bit of Java moss on top. So when the parents would spawn and scatter the eggs would fall through, so that the parents wouldn't have to, or the parents wouldn't eat the eggs or the fry. And so it was an interesting setup the way he had it. But yeah, PVC like on its side, so it was legs, and then white egg crate, and then screen mesh material, and that's what he was using, and like all of his tetra breeding setups. And I thought it was really good because it's easy. You don't have to have a ton of moss at that point. But yeah. So let's see. Yes. Yep, they do scatter their eggs. Sounds like some beautiful fish. They do. I can't wait to see them grow up. I can't either. Let's see. Surprise fry. Hey, Dan. Do I like the Nikon Z7? I shoot Canon and Sony personally. I used to shoot Nikon professionally, and I don't like Nikon. I think the button layout is stupid. I think the menus are stupid. That being said, I'm a Canon guy. I started on Canon. I've grown up on Canon. I still use Canon for photography, and the YouTube videos are filmed on a Canon M3 with a Sigma 18-35 1.8, because for YouTube, that's pretty much all I need for the sit-down. If I go out to like a fish room tour, I use my Sony a6500, and I've got a variety of lenses there. So yeah, I'm not a big Nikon fan. I think the Z7's a nice camera, but I think it's overkill for a lot of people. And so that's just my opinion on it. But like I said, I am a Canon guy, and I'm starting to switch over to Sony. So, but let's see. New Canon camera sitting on the table. Yeah, I'm excited for that, Weldon. It'll be cool to see what you do with that camera. Like I said, I'm hoping that it works out for you since I'm the one that recommended it. I'm hoping you get happy with it. And I hate to recommend expensive things and people not like it. But, you know, hoping, like I said, if you need any help, shoot me a message. I'll get you, I'll try to get you set up with what I can. Let's see. Can't wait to see what comes out of the new setup. Yeah, I can't either, Guppy. Or Peter. Ooh, that Coke's catching up to me. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Trent does too. It'll be a cool little... keep losing my train of thought. I'm way too tired. It'll be cool to see how Trent kind of upgrades his video stuff. He already has some good video, but it'll be cool to see what he does with that camera. Because that camera setup's actually nicer than what I've got for my YouTube videos. So it's definitely, at that point, it's on Weldon. It's not on the equipment. So I'm just throwing that out there because I have high expectations, Trent. Maybe you could contact him to find out more about breeding. Yeah, I need to... it's something I want to do. I've been starting to do more breeding videos. I'm trying to balance out breeding and like reviews and stuff like that because the breeding videos don't do very well as far as views, which means my ad revenue is pretty low. And while I'm not in this for the money, I do like to be able to justify being able to go spend, you know, $200 on fish out of nowhere because the ad money paid for it. And so it's not coming out of my paycheck, it's coming out of the YouTube fund, and it all goes back into the channel. So I'm trying to kind of balance, you know, a little bit some of the videos that tend to go a little more viral versus the videos that I really want to do, that are the breeding and my experiences there. And so, yeah, I would like to do some tetras. I was planning on breeding tetras at first, actually, and then, like I said, I got a chance to get rice fish, and I just I don't have a tank for it yet. And so I've been working on these rice fish. I probably won't get to tetras till the beginning of the year. But yeah, I may have to reach out to him and see if I can get a hold of his PowerPoint or something. Just because it was really good I don't even remember what his name was, but really, really good information. So, let's see. Guppy Grew, let's chat after the streams. Got some project ideas coming up. We'll see. I want to know. I want to be in the know. I want to be a part of that cool chat. I really don't want to move to Utah, though. So, I mean, I guess I'm not that cool. I'm not cool enough to be a Utah person. But, you know, hard to believe it lost his phone. Yeah, Trent did some good stuff on his phone. Definitely, if you get the right equipment, I know I've been chatting with Trent for a long time of equipment's important. Camera's kind of the very last thing. You want good audio, you want good lighting, you want good, all that stuff, especially audio. Audio is really important to me. And so... luckily, we were able to kind of get him to the point where it looked really good, and I'm going to take a little bit of credit there because I worked hard on that. Even though it's his videos, I worked hard coaching him. So definitely I'm taking some credit. But actually editing a video, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I should be filming videos and editing videos. I actually really need to go for a run before it gets super cold. But, you know, one of those, I need to get a couple miles in. But I might not run because I'm tired. I'm not sure yet. And I haven't really eaten much today, so I may take a nap. So, and I may need to do some water changes tomorrow. So, like I said, I've got a list of stuff to do. But luckily, I'm slow this next couple of days because of the holidays. So, I've got a busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But, yeah. So, let me see why my phone's... Oh, Trent, I just saw that you messaged me, by the way. Let's see. I'm going to text my business partner real quick and be like, hey, you called me when I'm live. By the way. So if an East County Today shows up in the chat here, that's my business partner. And yeah. But, let's see. Utah for life. Don't worry, you'll link me in. Good. I want to know. I like knowing your projects. I've got a long list of projects I can share with you guys. A video idea. I've got, staring at the list right now, I don't ever show that because I don't like to let it get out. But I've got like 30-something videos that I need to film. I need to get the time to sit down and film them. Hopefully sometime around Thanksgiving break, if not the week after, because I'm going to be slammed pretty much all the way till Christmas. So I'm hoping I can film like 10, 15, 20 videos. I was trying to release like 3 videos a week, and then I just haven't gotten a chance to keep filming. It's Mike texting me back. Oh, he says, dope, no alert. Cool. I don't know why he didn't get an alert. He should have been notified. But, let's see. See ya, Enoch. Thanks for coming. He's probably already gone. But let's see. Utah for life, and you'll link me in. Good. Move here for sure. You can join if you want. Yeah, like I said, my uncle lives in Provo. I've got a lot of family in Utah, but I like California. So, although I don't like the price of California, so maybe I'll go that way eventually. It's just hard to move my business, you know. It's my source of money, so maybe if this channel gets big enough to the point where I can do this full time, maybe I'll consider moving to Utah where it's a little cheaper. But for right now, sadly, I'm kind of stuck here because of my business. But not really, but I don't want to just leave my business partner like that either. So let's see. I'm losing train of thought. My brain is super scatterbrained today, so I apologize. But you're at work making minions do things while you chat. It's nice being the person in charge. Let's see. Appreciate all the comments on the videos. I see how it is. I'm your own. Yeah, I'm self-employed, and it's me and my business partner. So it's just kind of I don't have anyone to minion to, sadly. Even being the boss, I don't have anyone to minion to. Let's see. Oh yeah, see, East County Today. That's my business partner popping in, telling me to move and leave the equipment. But see, the microphone I'm using right now is technically half his. The light I'm using right now is technically half his. That's actually it. Everything else is mine, or the channels. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully my channel will be a big hit. Yeah, hopefully. But let's see. Any Vitachem or Garlic Guard with foods? I have not actually used any of that stuff. I've never had the need to. All my fish pretty much eat, and I've never done medicated food. So I'm not quite sure. That's something, again, I want to play around with, but at the same time, I don't want to play around with because I don't want to have sick fish. So it's kind of a hit and miss. I haven't had to mess with it yet, luckily. But, yeah, and like I said, Mike's comment. And Utah is like a better California without the ocean. I mean, I've got Yosemite an hour that way and San Francisco an hour that way. It's hard to beat. And so it's kind of one of those, like, I like being able to drive to the forest or to the beach or to the Delta or, it's just kind of one of those. I like having that option. So I do love California. There is a reason why people live here, but Utah's pretty too. I'm just not a big dirt fan. My grandparents used to have to farm outside of Price, and they had a goat farm, and it was fun out there. Don't get me wrong, but it was a lot of dirt and sand and desert type stuff. Let's see. Hey, welcome. Second fish tank in the office. Yeah, Mike was the one that told me to do the first fish tank. That came out of the company account. I may do a second one out of the company account, but we got to get some more checks in first. Need some more business stuff. I'm getting shipped things. I actually did take my 5.5 gallon. It's sitting underneath the 20 gallon right now, just because I had nowhere else to put it, but I didn't want to get rid of it yet. So it's sitting there. It's my storage spot. Let's see. And see, the other problem with the tanks at the office is, like, the office tank now, the only time I ever see it is when I'm stopping in for 5 or 10 minutes, or if I'm going to do a water change every week. So I see it every week, but it's hard for me to kind of watch, and a lot of the stuff I want to play with, I'm doing here because I can sit here and check it 3 or 4 times a day. And so it's kind of, I would love to do it at the office. Plus, we're on a second story, and the water access is a pain in the butt. But, you know, that's another thing. You tried all the medicated foods and nothing stood out to you. Yeah, like I said, I haven't done any sort of medicated food, but, you know, you can ski, boat, ATV, swim, rock climb, so much more. So can I, but, you know, I get the fancy forest stuff, you know. Like I said, I've been to Salt Lake, Provo a bunch of times. I have family that lives out that way, and so I know the area. I used to spend summers out there quite a bit. I'd be out there for a month or 2 at a time. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of fun stuff to do. A lot more shooting opportunities than that. My range is only like 20 minutes without traffic, but when I go, I get stuck in traffic. It ends up taking me like 2 hours to get home. And so I don't go shooting as much as I want because I don't want to sit in traffic all the time. Repashy gel foods. I have not. That's one of the ones that I've been meaning to try, but I just didn't have one, I haven't bought it, and 2, I haven't set it up. I know you gotta like boil water for it or something like that. I've heard nothing but good things about Repashy. My local fish store guy really likes it. He likes to feed it the powder for fry. Yeah, so it's kind of, as much as I like the Repashy food, I haven't tried it yet. Plus, it's a little on the expensive side, and it requires work, and half the time I forget to feed my fish, so I just, frozen food is what they get, and live food, and then the supplement of the dry food. So you love Repashy, and you get medicine in it, yeah. Like I said, I keep meaning to buy some. I just haven't bought some, haven't bought the molds for it yet. I'd love to pre-make it. I've got my own little mini fridge freezer thing here, so I can pre-make foods and put it here inside. But yeah, so we get the fancy forest with crazy environmentals. Yes, I agree with that too. That's definitely a very true fact. What meds do I add to Repashy, and how do you store made food? I've seen people add things like General Cure, erythromycin, and some other stuff. I know they add powder stuff. Sometimes they mix that into the water first, and then they add the Repashy gel. And then I think you store it in the fridge. I don't know how long it's stable for. That's something I need to play with, but again, just haven't had the time or the patience to kind of sit there and deal with it. But I finally caught up to the bottom of the chat. That's the first time I've done that this whole stream. I've been up like 10 chats behind, and I'm finally caught up. But my phone's going off again. Crazy. But let's see. You know, I have medication, use meds in the water column, and use the storing. Cut it up and store in a container or a plastic bag. It has to be stuck in the fridge though, right, Trent? Yeah, that's, as I say, I've been told to make it in batches, but I just use my meds, like I said, in my quarantine tank. And most of the time, if I have fish in quarantine, I'm just feeding them flake food or something like that. I'm not really feeding anything super crazy. I just throw something in. Let's see, make enough to last a week. It depends on the sickness. You freeze it once it's made into ice cube trays, like brine shrimp. I did order some ice cube trays. I just haven't had enough brine shrimp to actually make brine shrimp ice cubes. But that's something I want to start playing with. Maybe even some Repashy stuff and do some little Repashy ice cubes or something. Kind of like a frozen food. You just pop it out. And yeah, so. Have I bred Corridoras? I have not bred Corys. I was going to breed my pandas, and then I got stuck with a fish unexpectedly. So I moved my pandas back into the 75, and I lost my train of thought again, and put the rice fish in their tank. when I was prepping for it, I hadn't gotten any spawning action. I've been conditioning with a lot of bloodworms and grindleworms and things like that, try and get them to spawn. I was seeing a little bit of spawning action, but wasn't getting any eggs yet. I was doing the water changes constantly with like a 5-degree difference. So you change it with water that's about 5 degrees colder. This is the time of year for me to do it, because in the summertime my tap's about 78. So this is the time of year for me to actually like breed cories if I wanted to. I just haven't yet. But that's on my list to do once the least killies are done, probably. I might get some cories. So I'm finally getting breeding from the least cories. I just got to get a couple more to raise up, and then I can get rid of them and move on to the next thing. And my Amazon package is shipped. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, see, I'm getting another error message. I don't know what that is. After about a week, Rapashi gets pretty slushy. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think there's any stabilizers in it. Keep it in the fridge or freeze it. Probably about a year before it gets bad if it's frozen. Yeah, like I said, if it's freezer burned, you throw it out. Like I said, I keep meaning to look into it and kind of make it as frozen, but I just haven't. It's just more time. Let's see. What's up, friend? Love your content. Live in Arkansas, but originally from San Francisco. Seen my channel name, started watching, and love my content. Well, I appreciate that. Arkansas. I actually did my 4th grade. Yeah, 4th grade project on Arkansas. No, 5th grade. 5th grade, because we cover United States in 5th grade. And I got stuck with Arkansas. And so I actually did my project on Arkansas in 5th grade. Let's see. How are the rice fish doing for me? They're good. I'm seeing eggs constantly, and I see eggs in the Java moss. I haven't seen any fry yet, but I'm feeding baby brine shrimp and microworms every day, and I'm being extra careful with water changes. I figure I'm going to give talking to Carlos from Backyard Aquatics, which is who I got them from. I'm going to try and colony breed them. He wanted to be able to try and colony breed them, and I have to give these back once I'm done getting some of the fry. I want to be able to colony breed them because I don't like pulling eggs. I think it's a lot of work. I do have the stuff to pull eggs. I have some spawning mops in there and Java moss, and I've got the hang-on-back breeder baskets, and I can put them in another tank if I needed to. I'm going to give them until, like, maybe the first week of December, maybe about the time that my fish club is, which is, I think, the 7th. And if I don't see any by that time, or if I don't see any fry, I'll probably start pulling eggs and trying to hatch them out that way. But I would prefer to be able to colony breed them because, that makes it, yeah, so, Beachy Trent, yeah, Guppy Guru seems to be the winner there. a little quicker on the gun. Safe over prime. I use both, actually. I've got both sitting right up there. I use safe in my 75 gallon. I use safe in my pond. But all of my 10 gallons and my 20 gallon long, I use prime. I've used safe before in them, but it's just kind of easier to do prime. That's the only reason I still use both. But safe I definitely use for the bigger tanks, just because I was going through prime like no tomorrow with the 75. So prime, since you mostly run 10 gallon tanks. Yep, I agree. Seachem products are way overpriced, but with that opinion, prime. Yeah, it's one of those, it could be overpriced, but I'm one of those ease people. So, yeah. And thanks for the $1.99, Mike. Appreciate it. It's a cool sticker. But, let's see. I think you're my second ever super chat. Guppy Guru was my first. Let's see. Oh, I do have a video on safe, don't I? I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, I do have a video on Seachem Safe. That's a good point, Guppy Guru. Thank you for pointing that out. I have a video on Seachem Safe. You can go check it out on the channel somewhere. Probably from towards the start of the year, from about the time I started using it. But I still use it. I think the bottle of safe for $10 is such a good deal. Like I said, for my 75, and then I have a little. I spent $10 on like the little measuring spoons, and then I have a little conversion chart because I think it's a 1/16 of a, or no, it's a quarter of a teaspoon. Quarter of a teaspoon, I think, treats 300 gallons. And so I've got ones that go all the way down to a 64th. And I want to say a 64th treats like 25 gallons when you do the math. But, you know, and I tend to do a dose above whatever. So like my 75 gallon, I tend to do a quarter, just because it's not going to hurt it. But yeah, so man, we are already coming up on an hour. I wasn't expecting that. Like I said, this was one of those things where I needed to kind of jump on and test the audio stuff. But since everyone said it was good, you know, it's just kind of still going for it. And I'm enjoying it. It's still weird getting used to the software on that. I'm curious, actually. I'm on YouTube's website. I'm curious if the software is actually working with the live chat now. It is not. Yeah, see, I don't know what that is, but that's fine. It's not a big deal as long as I have that. But let's see. Yeah, you know my channel better than me. Yeah, I should know it better. Like I said, it's been a long day. I'm tired and haven't slept a lot, and been rebuilding a fence all week, and I'm tired. Let's see. I was redoing gutters this morning, so that was fun. 2 years in the hobby, but I still can't seem to keep platies. Got a nice empty 55 to my left. Yeah, so I love my platies and my 75. Have you ever cycled your tank? That's one thing that I know a lot of people tend to do at the start, especially if it's sitting empty right now. It's probably not cycled. That's one of the videos that I haven't made yet. It's nitrogen cycle, but Corey from Aquarium Co-op has a good video on the nitrogen cycle. And once you cycle your tank, once you get the first one cycled, it's really easy to cycle other ones. It's just getting that first tank cycled takes a while. You can do it with fish in. I know some people that do that. I did my first tank with fish in, but then I did a second tank using liquid ammonia, some janitor strength ammonia from Ace Hardware. It was like $3 for the bottle, and I've used like a couple of drops. Yeah, so it's probably not cycled. If you haven't cycled it, that would be my guess. But I'm not sure just because I don't know what your skill level and stuff is. But my platies, I tend to keep pretty good. But I did find that I do have to medicate my platies because most of the ones I get tend to have something. Are the rice fish going to breed out? I might have to get some from you in a couple months. That's the plan. So I said I got them from Carlos because Carlos was having issues with his fish room. And I'd reached out to him saying, hey, I'm looking to buy some rice fish. I heard you had some. Can I buy some? He goes, I only have a couple. Haven't bred them yet. They're still in quarantine. But if you want to come borrow them and want to house them for a couple months, that would help him out a lot, and I would get to keep some of the fry. So that's what I'm doing. Like I said, I asked him. I haven't bred anything like that before, so I'm hopefully bringing. I'm seeing eggs. I've got a good picture of eggs. I think I posted it on Instagram. Lost my train of thought again. Yeah, so the plan is to hopefully colony breed them. If I can get them colony breeding, I'll breed them out to the point where I have a good enough colony, then give Carlos his original plus some fry back. That's kind of the agreement we have. And then hopefully keep them. It's another tank that I was going to use for breeding, but once I get these going, I'm going to keep them. I know Trent wants some at Weldon Aquatics. I told him I'd send him some. I'll probably offer some to Larry and you and a couple other people that I'm good friends with first, and then eventually take them to the club. I do want to put them in the breeder program, so the first batch might go to the breeder program, so you might have an auction for them, but I said I'm hoping I can breed them out without having to pull eggs. If I have to pull eggs, it might be a little longer, but I'm not sure. I'll kind of figure out. If I'm not seeing fry by the next club meeting, I'm going to start pulling eggs and do that. But I've never pulled eggs and done that before, so I'll be curious to see how that works. So let's see. Caught video on the cycle. Yeah, like I said, I would definitely look into that. I've used Tetra Safe Start in the past. I haven't had bad luck with it. I haven't had good luck with it. I honestly don't know if it made a difference. It made a $10 difference in my wallet, but I don't know if it made a difference in the actual aquarium itself. And so, yeah, I'm not quite sure on that. But yeah, if you don't know what the nitrogen cycle is, which it sounds like you don't, I would definitely look into it. That's probably what it is, and basically what's happening is the ammonia is probably getting so high that it's killing all your fish. And so you've got to get that bacteria and the filter built up He also has a good video on hot rodding his filter. So like I don't use filter cartridges. I don't ever replace things in my filter. Or you can use like a sponge filter or something like that. This tank, I have 2 Aquaclear 110s on it. And in this corner, I actually have a sponge filter. Just in case I need to do like a quarantine tank or something, I can pull it out. It's already cycled. I don't have to worry about it. Hey, Aquatic Nest, what's up? I'm probably going to finish up here soon just because my throat's starting to go. And it is 4:30 and I do need to go running still. And the chat's starting to die down a little bit. So, since we've been live streaming for over an hour. But the other question that I had is the thumbnail for you guys. When you clicked on the video, was it my my like White Cloud minnow with Bay Area Aquatics live on it? Because I don't know if that's the case. Is the video frozen? I'm seeing video frozen. Still frozen. Hoping it's not frozen. But I have good connection here. I have really good connection here. Yes, it's still frozen. No, it's good now. Okay. Like I said, I have pretty good Wi-Fi connection here. So it shouldn't be frozen, but I don't know why it was frozen. But yes, it was on the title card. No, on the frozen. Okay. Oh, yes, on the title card. Okay, perfect. Yes, like I said, I'm trying to get that all sorted out. Still playing with the software. Still playing with YouTube, and live streaming's new to me. So, thank you day and night for the super chat. I appreciate that a lot. So, White Cloud and logo. Perfect. Stream good, not frozen, well connected. Yeah, like I said, I have good Wi-Fi connection. I have pretty good Wi-Fi because I edit from home a lot, so I do a lot of upload and download video. So I have pretty much the best you can get in the area. And not a lot of people are on it right now, so it should be pretty good. I mean, the Wi-Fi router's a couple feet away, so. Catfish for 75. That's right. I saw that. I have panda cory cats in this 75 gallon. I like them. As far as big catfish, I don't know because I haven't done any big catfish. I've seen some big cories that are like 3 or 4 inches, like big cories, that I think are really cool looking. I was at Carlos's place and he had some whiptail catfish and some big cories, and I thought that was cool. The whiptail catfish are really cool. They behave interestingly because they like bury themselves in the sand and they each have their own little territory, and they were really fun to watch. I don't know what you would put above it, but I really liked the whiptail catfish. I think they were really cool looking. Let's see. Here to learn. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, this is a test live stream. I'm kind of going until I tune out because why not? And I'm enjoying myself, and I'm hoping other people are. So, let's see. Thanks, Yuppie Guru. What other fish do you have in the tank? Good catfish for their things. Cindy catches. Yeah, like I said, I don't have too much experience. I've only been in the hobby for less than 2 years. Like I said, so I'm seeing fish in fish rooms and stuff and seeing things online that I like. Like I said, the whiptails that I saw, at least, I don't know if there's a specific type or if there's different types or what. I'm assuming there's different types. But the ones I saw pretty much stayed at the sand and buried themselves in the sand. So they're definitely a bottom tank thing. I don't know what you would put above it. But, you know, yeah, so bumblebee cats are pretty cool. Thanks for coming out, Weldon. I appreciate it. I was going to say something else, but I don't remember what I was going to say. So, yeah, I'll probably be going here in a minute too, just because I have to. But I appreciate you coming out and moderating. Just have angelfish and platies. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea how the whiptails would do with that. I've got an angelfish and platies in this 75 gallon. I have panda cory catfish, and I love them. Like I said, they're kind of hiding right now, but they definitely come out with the water changes. They come out towards the end of the day and right at the start of the day, and they'll run all up and down the glass, and they play with the platies, and I really enjoy them. So, yeah, I'm a big panda cory fan. I'd do some sort of small Cory catfish if you're doing a community tank like that. Small Cory catfish would be my my go-to, but again, that's just me. So let's see. Yep, peace out, Weldon. No problem, Crown Tail Half Moon. Yeah, so like I said, any last questions before I dip out? Because I'm probably going to dip out here so I can put this stuff away, go back and rewatch a little bit of it. Yeah, so let's see. Love the stream. Could we get a room tour? Thanks. Yes, that's actually one of the videos I want to film. I let a friend borrow my wide angle lens, and I went to go film the video Friday, and I go, oh crap, I don't have my wide angle lens. So I actually need to get it back from him, but that's actually on the list to do. I want to kind of show off my fish room, my fish closet, whatever you want to call it, because I've got the 4 tanks in the closet. I've got one next to the closet outside of it on my dresser. I've got one in the hallway. I've got the pond, and then I've got one in my office. So I want to do kind of a full tank tour. But I want to do more than just the sit down like I normally do. So, do I prefer community tanks or species tanks? I like the look of community tanks personally. I've seen some good species only tanks, but I like the look of community tanks, even if they're small communities. So like, I have platies in here, and then I have a rainbow fish and panda cories and an angel shark, or an angelfish, rainbow shark, angelfish. So it's not necessarily a ton, like it's not like 30 different types of fish, but I do like the look of it just because I like to get a little more action than just one single thing. So have a good one. Thanks day and night. Like I said, thank you for the super chat again. I appreciate it. Hey Luis, how you doing? Also, congratulations, Guppy Guru. Hopefully there's many more views of your channel. Let's see. Thanks, Jeff. Have a good night too. See you then. Yeah. Like I said, I keep losing my train of thought. It's definitely time to wrap it up here. But let's see. Sort of the logo is Eco Complete okay for Cory catfish? I've never used Eco Complete. I use Black Diamond Blasting Sand, which a lot of people say isn't okay for Corys, but I keep Corys on it just fine. And the I lost my train of thought again. It's gonna happen all the time. I keep my Cory cats on Black Diamond Blasting Sand, and I also use Pool Filter Sand. I have Corys on that too. Yeah, definitely don't know about Eco Complete, but you could try, I guess. Is my red tail shark aggressive? So I don't have a red tail shark. I have a rainbow shark. I love my rainbow shark. Favorite fish in this 75 gallon. He chases the platies around a little bit, but not much. I mean, he'll chase them like a foot or two in the tank when they get close to where he's kind of sitting. But he does fine. I don't have any issues with it, but and I've had him for, he's sitting right here now. You can kind of see him. I've had him for, well, I've had him since February, so I've had him for almost a year because he was my birthday present to myself. I really wanted one, and I finally got a tank big enough, so I finally went ahead and spent the money on one. Bought him from PetSmart for like $2. He's a little tiny guy, and kept him in a 10 gallon for a little bit until he got a little bigger because I didn't want the angelfish to go after him. But he's good size now. I mean, he's a solid 4, 5, 6 inches. So, but so you take it easy too. Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to get to it earlier. This was one of those. As soon as I got home, I set up all my equipment and go, yep, this is cool. But wasn't planning on staying on for an hour or 13 like I did the last time. But I figured it'd be 5 minutes. If people show up and chat, I'll stay on a little longer. But definitely more of a test than a scheduled live stream. But let's see. I'm trying to think where I'm at. You have no problem with Cory cats on your Eco Complete. So yeah, like I said, I haven't used Eco Complete, so haven't tried it. But name your Rainbow Maverick. Yeah, I actually haven't named mine yet, but I need to one of these days. I keep meaning to. I just haven't decided. The only fish that I have that's named is my beta fish at the office. His name's Boca. If you don't know what Boca is, it's a photography term. And so it's a super common photographer pet name because every photographer has it. But yeah, that's the only fish I have named at the moment. Yeah, no problem with Eco Complete and Pebbles in your 75. DRC 707, love the name. And then cool. Yeah, like I said, I really like my rainbow shark. I haven't had a red tail shark. I've been told they're more aggressive than rainbow sharks. I believe mine's a male. I don't know how to sex them, but I was told if the anal fin is black, it's a male. I'm not sure how true that is, but I think mine's a male. Not quite sure. And I haven't had any aggression issues. He leaves the cory cats alone. The only fish he really chases are the platies, and that's only when they kind of get like all up in his face. So, but he does good in my tank. And he's been with some tetras, he's been with some mollies, he's been with platy fry, so I haven't had much of an issue, but there's some water running somewhere. But so yeah, like I said, any last minute questions, and if not, I'm going to log out here and get going on with the rest of my Saturday. How many Mambunas can I put in a 75 gallon? You have the FX4. I have no idea. I don't keep cichlids, so I have no idea how big they grow. I don't have no idea how big the bio load is. That's just not something I know. Just kind of sitting here waiting for the chat display, or the live stream's like a 10-second delay or something like that. So I'm kind of trying to make sure that like I just grabbed my soda in it. But the plants in my tank. So this is dwarf hairgrass that I just got. It's not fully planted yet. It's just kind of sitting on top of the sand. I bought a 10x10 mat of it. I need to plant it. I just don't have enough sand in the front. Most of this is Pegostemon stellatus octopus. I love it. It's super easy to grow. It grows like crazy. It looks really good. I have some mixture of some random stem plants that some friends gave me. This is some crypt Windelov here. There's some Java fern narrow leaf there. There's some Boost Godzilla and some Java moss. There's a Nubius. There's some more random like Rotalia stem plants here. There's an Amazon sword back in this corner. Some more crypts. And then, like I said, a couple of other stem plants, but I don't remember what the name. I just got handed a bag of random stem plants by a friend and was told here. And so, yeah, I just kind of started planting them in, and yeah. But I do have actually a video on my 75 gallon that goes over all the plants. The only difference is the dwarf hairgrass wasn't in it yet because it's only a week or two old. But about a month or two ago, I released a video on my 75 gallon platy community tank. And that's on my channel somewhere. And I go over all the plants and fish and stuff that I have in it. Awesome. Well, I think that's pretty much it as far as questions. So unless I see any more last minute, I'm just trying to wait for the video to catch up, the stream to catch up. That's got to be a solid 10-15 minute delay, or 10-15 second delay. But all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because I'm not seeing anything else. Yep, you too, Austin. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Want me some orange wagtails. I need more room for guppies. Yeah, I love wagtails. I actually really like the red wags. If I could do this tank over, it would just be red wags and sunburst. But I have some swordtails and stuff in it, and that's why I might pull some of these out. I'm not sure yet. But let me actually check the software real quick. Make sure everything's still going. Okay, looks like it's all good. Alright, so yeah, like I said, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here so I can go ahead and take all this down and get running and cool down a little bit because it's getting hot in here. So thanks for coming out, everyone. I appreciate it. And I'll have to schedule another live stream soon now that I have the setup. I have to figure out how often I actually want to do it and for what. I mean, next time, hopefully I'll have an actual topic to talk about. But like I said, these were just tests, so I didn't really plan. But yeah, so like I said, thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for watching Bay Area Aquatics. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time.